Hello everyone. So today our group 1 will present a topic by the title of framework and technique negotiation and purchasing management. So as we usually know, negotiation is an important process in purchasing because it helps organization reach mutually beneficial agreements with suppliers regarding the price, its quality, delivery, and some of the contract terms. Through this presentation, we will discuss the definition of negotiation, its importance in purchasing, the negotiation framework, BETNA, negotiation techniques, factors that affecting or influencing about the negotiation, its challenges, and some example of negotiation. So now before we begin, let me introduce you to our group member first. So our group consists of 3 members. There's me, Imadi Septiawira Adi, and then my friend Iva Ira Puspita, and then the other one Siska Karina. Now that we have introduced our group, let's start with the basic concept of negotiation. So, to Eva, please continue.
Okay, thank you, Made. Definition of negotiation. Purchasing negotiation are two-way communication process between buyers and suppliers with the goal of reaching a mutually beneficial agreement regarding price, quality, quantity, delivery time, and contract terms. In purchasing management, negotiations are positioned as a strategic function to create value, not simply to minimize acquisition costs. Meanwhile, a framework in purchasing negotiation techniques is a conceptual framework that serves as a systematic guide for a buyer in planning, implementing, and evaluating the negotiation process with suppliers. The framework ensures that negotiation process in a structured and measurable manner. Jadi singkatnya itu framework adalah peta jalannya. Dan sedangkan teknik negosiasi adalah alat taktis yang dipakai dalam setiap tahap frameworknya begitu. Lanjut next slide. Okay, importance of negotiation in purchasing. Negotiation is a crucial process in purchasing management that helps organizations obtain goods and services under the most favorable terms. Effective negotiation not only focuses on achieving lower price, but also aims to improve quality, ensure reliable delivery, manage risk, and build strong long-term relationship with suppliers. As a result, negotiation contributes significantly to organizational efficiency and supply chain performance. Benefit of effective negotiation atau mungkin keuntungan dari negosiasi adalah yang pertama, the first, cost reduction, and then better product and service quality, improve delivery performance, favorable payment terms, stronger supplier relationship, and reduce procurement risk. Okay, next slide, Mani. Okay, and then negotiation framework. A negotiation framework is a structured process that guides negotiator from preparation to final evaluation. By following a systematic approach, buyers can communicate more effectively, reduce misunderstanding, and achieve better outcomes during negotiation. In purchasing management, a clear framework helps organizations make informed decisions and build successful suppliers relationship. And then stage of negotiation framework. The first, preparation. This is a foundation of a successful negotiation. Buyers identify their objective, gather information about suppliers and market condition, analyze alternative, and determine their negotiation strategy before entering discussions. Jadi, yang pertama kita prepare dulu untuk negotiationnya, kayak identifikasi objek, melihat situasi suppliers, dan sebagainya yang seperti saya jelaskan sebelumnya. Lalu yang kedua, secondly, information exchange. During this stage, both parties share relevant information, expectations, and requirements. Open communication helps build trust and provides a better understanding of each party's interests and priorities. Third, bargaining. At this stage, buyers and suppliers discuss key terms such as pricing, quality standard, delivery schedule, payment terms, and contract condition. Both parties may make concessions to reach a mutually beneficial outcome. The 40 agreement. Once both parties reach a consensus, the negotiated terms are finalized and documented. This agreement serves as the basis for future business transaction and cooperation. Okay, and then the fourth, and then evaluation. Submitting concession requests in small units but on various aspects of the contract such as price, payment terms, warranty, and after-sales service, so that the total savings are significant. And then we have framework flow. From preparation, information exchange, bargaining, agreement, and then evaluation. Okay.
So, after discussing the negotiation framework, I would like to explain an important concept in negotiation called BATNA or BATNA, as you can say. BATNA stands for Best Alternative to a Negotiated Agreement. BATNA refers to the best alternative option available if a negotiation does not result in an acceptable agreement. In simple terms, BATNA is a backup plan that can be used when negotiations fail. Having a strong BATNA is very important because it allows negotiators and to make this decision with greater confidence and avoid accepting So after the discussing of the negotiation framework, I would like to explain an important concept in negotiation called BATNA. BATNA stands for Best Alternative to a Negotiated Agreement. BATNA refers to the best alternative option available if a negotiation does not result in an acceptable agreement. In simple terms, BATNA is a backup plan that can be used when a negotiation fails. Having a strong BATNA is very important because it allows negotiators to make decisions with greater confidence and avoid accepting unfavorable terms. In purchasing management, BATNA also helps reduce dependence on a single supplier and strengthens the buyer negotiating position. So, as shown in the slide, BATNA provides several benefits. It increases bargaining power, improves Decision making reduces supply dependency, prevents unfavorable agreements, and enhances negotiation confidence. To better understand how BATNA works, let's look at a simple example first. So, in the next slide, we got example of BATNA. So, imagine a company is negotiating with supplier A to purchase raw materials. Before the negotiation begins, the company has already identified supplier B as an alternative supplier that offers similar quality and pricing. If supplier A refuses to offer a reasonable terms, the company can switch to supplier B. This alternative option strengthens the company's bargaining position because it is not completely dependent on one supplier, which is supplier A. This example shows that BATNA is not only a backup plan, but also a strategic tool that gives negotiators more flexibility during the discussion. That's why negotiating experts often say that the stronger your BATNA, the stronger your position at the negotiation table. Besides having a strong BATNA, negotiators can also use different techniques to achieve better negotiation outcomes. In the slide number 9, as we can see, there are common negotiation techniques that usually used in negotiation. So, there are several negotiation techniques that can be used depending on the situation and objectives of the negotiation. The first one is anchoring. The first technique is anchoring. This technique involves setting an initial reference point, such as price, to influence the direction of the negotiation. For example, if a buyer starts with a lower initial price, the final agreement may be closer to that range. The second one is maybe bracketing. The second technique is bracketing. This technique involves defining an acceptable range that helps both parties move toward an agreement more efficiently. And then there are nibbling. The sixth one, yes. So this occurs when one party requests small additional benefits after the main agreement has already been reached. And then we have trade-off concession. This technique follows the principle of giving something in exchange for something else that is considered more valuable. And then the last one is good guy, bad guy. In this approach, one negotiator acts more assertive while another acts more cooperative to influence the negotiation process. So, the conclusion is each technique has its own advantage and should be applied according to the negotiation context. However, negotiation success does not only depend on techniques. Several actors also influence the outcome of a negotiation. In slide 10, as we can see, there are many factors that can affect the negotiation terms. So, the success of a negotiation is influenced by several important factors. First, communication skills are important because negotiators need to express their ideas clearly. Second one, listening skills. help negotiators understand the needs and concern of the other party. The third, self-confidence, allows negotiators to communicate effectively and defend their position. Another important factor is information. Having accurate information about suppliers and market condition can strengthen decision making. Then we have control emotion also are also essential because emotional reaction may negatively affect negotiation. Finally, clarity of objectives. Ensure that negotiators remain focused on achieving their goals. So, if these factors are present, negotiation are more likely to result in successful and mutual beneficial agreements. Now that we have discussed about BATNA, negotiation techniques, and the factor influencing negotiation, I will hand over the presentation to the next presenter who will explain the challenges in negotiation. To Siska, please continue.
Okay, thank you, Made. Okay, challenge in negotiation. Negotiation is not always a smooth process, as buyers and suppliers often have different objectives and expectations. Various challenges can arise during negotiation, affecting communication, decision making, and the ability to reach a mutually beneficial agreement. Understanding this challenge helps negotiators prepare for appropriate strategies and improve negotiation outcomes. Yang pertama, lack of information, time pressures. Next slide, Made. Communication barriers, conflicting interests, power imbalance, and cultural difference. Oke, jadi pada bagian ini negosiasi tidak selalu berjalan dengan lancar karena pembeli dan pemasok seringkali memiliki tujuan, kepentingan, dan harapan yang berbeda. Nah, ini yang pada tantangan yang pertama adalah kurangnya informasi. Jika seseorang negosiator tidak memiliki informasi yang cukup mengenai kondisi pasar, kemampuan pasok, atau penawaran dari pesaing, maka posisi tawarannya akan menjadi jauh lebih lemah. Akibatnya, keputusan yang diambil bisa menjadi kurang efektif. Yang kedua, tantangannya yaitu tekanan waktu. Kebutuhan yang mendesak atau adanya tenggat waktu yang ketat seringkali membuat negosiator harus mengambil keputusan dengan cepat. Kondisi ini tuh dapat mengurangi kesempatan untuk mempertimbangkan berbagai alternatif yang mungkin lebih menguntungkan. Yang ketiga yaitu hambatan komunikasi. Kesalahpahaman yang muncul akibat komunikasi yang kurang jelas, perbedaan bahasa, atau kurangnya kemampuan mendengarkan dapat menyebabkan konflik dan menghambatnya jalannya negosiasi. Selanjutnya ada kepentingan yang bertentangan. Nah, dalam kasus pembelian biasanya menginginkan harga yang lebih rendah dan syaratnya yang lebih menguntungkan, sedangkan pemasok ingin memperoleh keuntungan yang maksimal. Perbedaan kepentingan ini sering menjadi sumber perdebatan selama proses negosiasi. Dan berikutnya adalah ketidakseimbangan kekuatan. Terkadang salah satu pihak memiliki posisi yang paling kuat karena menguasai pasar, memiliki lebih banyak pilihan, atau memegang peran yang strategis. Hal ini dapat membuat pihak lain berada pada posisi yang kurang menguntungkan dalam negosiasi. Dan yang terakhir adalah perbedaan budaya. Dalam negosiasi bisnis internasional, setiap negara atau budaya memiliki cara komunikasi, nilai, dan pola pengambilan keputusan yang berbeda. Ya kan? Nah, jika perbedaan ini tidak dipahami dengan baik, maka dapat menimbulkan kesalahpahaman dan mempersulitkan proses negosiasi. Nah, jadi teman-teman, dari berbagai tantangan tersebut nih, dapat disimpulkan bahwa keberhasilan negosiasi tidak hanya bergantung pada kemampuan berbicara, tetapi juga pada kesiapan informasi, pengelolaan waktu, kemampuan komunikasi, pemahaman terhadap kepentingan masing-masing pihak, serta kemampuan beradaptasi dengan perbedaan budaya dan situasi yang ada. Oke, next slide, Made. Oke, di sini ada example of negotiation. Yang pertama itu price bargaining in the market, group test, segment discussion, cooperation negotiation between companies, agreement between teacher and student, and last problem solving between friends. Nah, jadi teman-teman, dalam contoh ini negosiasi sebenarnya sering kita temui dalam kehidupan sehari-hari, ya kan? Bahkan tanpa kita sadari gitu. Salah satu contohnya adalah saat melakukan tawar-menawar harga di pasar misalnya, di mana pembeli dan penjual berusaha mencapai harga yang disepakati bersama. Atau contoh lainnya ketika berdiskusi mengenai pembagian tugas kelompok. Dalam situasi ini, setiap anggota menyampaikan pendapat dan mencari kesepakatan agar tugas dapat dibagi secara adil. Nah, negosiasi juga banyak digunakan dalam dunia bisnis. Misalnya saat perusahaan melakukan kerjasama dengan perusahaan lain untuk mencapai tujuan yang saling menguntungkan. Nah, dari beberapa contoh yang saya sampaikan sebelumnya itu dapat kita lihat bahwa negosiasi itu bukan hanya digunakan dalam dunia bisnis, tetapi juga menjadi bagian penting dalam berbagai aspek kehidupan sehari-hari untuk membantu mencapai kesepakatan dan menjaga hubungan yang baik. Oke, next slide. Oke, di sini ada conclusion atau kesimpulan. Nah, negotiation is a crucial process for reaching a fair and mutually beneficial agreement. For successful negotiation, we need to understand the framework and stages and us the right techniques. With good preparation, polite communication, and mutual respect, negotiation outcomes will be more easily achieved. Nah, jadi sebagai kesimpulan ini, negosiasi merupakan proses yang sangat penting dalam mencapai kesepakatan yang adil dan saling menguntungkan bagi semua pihaknya. Nah, tetapi juga pada bagaimana proses komunikasi dan kerjasama dilakukan untuk menemukan solusi yang terbaiknya. Nah, agar negosiasi dapat berjalan dengan efektif, kita perlu memahami framework atau tahapan negosiasi, mulai dari persiapan hingga mencapai kesepakatan. Selain itu, penggunaan teknik negosiasi yang tepat sebelumnya yang telah disampaikan oleh teman saya, itu juga dapat membantu dalam menghadapi berbagai situasi dan tantangan yang muncul selama proses negosiasi. Nah, dengan persiapan yang matang, komunikasi yang baik dan sopan, serta sikap saling menghargai antara pihak-pihak yang terlibat, peluang untuk mencapai hasil negosiasi yang sukses akan semakin besar. Oleh karena itu, kemampuan bernegosiasi merupakan keterampilan yang penting untuk dimiliki baik dalam kehidupan sehari-hari maupun dunia profesional. Sekian, terima kasih. Saya kembalikan ke Made.
Okay guys, so that's all about our presentation about framework and negotiation techniques. Hope you guys enjoy the learning. Itu tadi presentasi dari kami kelompok 1. Mohon maaf jika ada kesalahan kata maupun kekurang jelasan materi. Sekian dari kami. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.